Good afternoon, Scallywags. Welcome back. Robert here. I'm in the fish hole today. I'm doing an update on the Maltese tank. They've had some babies. They've done some rearranging in their tank a little bit, and I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance today and actually get in there and vacuum up a little bit of mold and build up and stuff in there and a little bit of a mess from a sponge filter they got set in there in our last one. So let's see what these guys have been up to. As we can tell, they've done some rearranging. We can see where they've moved some shells around. We've got big mountains created up in here. That plant's no longer back under the rock where it had been. We've got some shells that are buried in sand. There's sand up on the rock. Had a big pile of shells fall down in here, and I can see into the bottom here where they've reached bare glass. There's been a group of babies hanging out in this spot here, as well as back there at the back. There's a male who's got two females in one in each shell. When we started with this tank, we started with 8. I'm pretty sure we're close to probably 25, 30 fish right now, but I can see. There may be more that I can't see that are just hiding and they're still. Okay, so as far as maintenance goes on this Maltese tank, it's just a 20 long. I have been doing just my 10-15% water changes with my little gizmo. It's down a little bit today. It hasn't had a water change since last week, so it is time to go ahead and do one of those today. Other than that, it's got a heater in there at the back. I keep the temperature right around 79, 80 degrees. Our water where we live here in Missouri comes out, they call it liquid rock. It's hard. The TDS is hard. The pH is right around 7.8, 8. Today we are going to do a little bit of vacuuming in there because when I set up the L144A tank, I took their sponge out and I set it in here just temporarily because I wanted to keep it wet. And in doing so, it released a whole bunch of mold off the bottom of a sponge, as that's how sponge filters work. Part of the whole gig. I don't mind. It needs a little bit of a touch up anyway, so I'm happy to do that. We're going to vacuum up the little bit of mold that's in there and then some of the dead plants. Other than that, there's no leftover food. There's nothing else really needs to be done. It shouldn't take me but a couple minutes to do the little bit of vacuuming I'm going to do, and they're just going to top it off. So with vacuuming done, topping the water off now, we've got it matching the temperature of the tank because I don't like to change the temperature on these guys. I try to keep it the same as what they're used to so that it's just as little stress as possible on them. Pothos here needs to come up and out. It goes back up over here. All right, with all that done, this was an update on the Maltese tank. I'm really happy. I'm proud of these guys. I can't believe we've already got babies. It's just been a month since we moved them over into this tank and got this set up and going for them. So it just means that we're doing something right if they're producing babies like this and they're that happy. They're all colorful, a little bit of sparring going on between the parents. I'm excited to see how many are in here when they start to grow up, and you can actually see them. I've seen 4 or 5 over here in this hole here, but they're so tiny, they're so fast, they're so skittish. They don't come out a whole lot. Like if they come out and they see any kind of movement, they dart right back away. Um, they're just really shy still. They're very young, they're very tiny. This is just super exciting. Thanks for hanging out with this update on the multi-tank. This was a lot of fun. I really love these guys, the way they've rearranged their tank and made this mountain right here. This is just too hysterical because when we set this up, it was all flat and there was just shells. So they've done all this rearranging themselves, and I'm looking forward to seeing the kind of changes that they do to the tank in the future as their fry start to grow up and they start to come out and be a little bit more sane. Thanks for hanging out, Scallywags. Have a great rest of your day.